We did it. We're here. Yeah. So, Sean's away on assignment.
Yeah, what would give on assignment? I think he's hanging out with his mom. I think he even said that last podcast.
Yeah, he's having a nice family dinner with his mom or something like that. So, that's cool. I'm glad he's having some fun
Good
doing
for
that.
him.
Good for him. But yeah, he's away, which is so I guess like the curtains pulled back. This is why the Game of the Year show is next week also. Otherwise,
Thank God, because I still have like 24 games I'm trying to at least play a little bit of before I commit to my list.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I'm locked in. I'm locked in with my list. I don't know that Sean is either yet though, because he hasn't filled me with confidence that he's even started putting his list together. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What are do you want to say some of the games that you want to get to, or are thinking of getting to?
I want to play through Mortal Kombat 1. I want to maybe try to spend some time with Pikmin 4.
Okay.
Maybe check out Dave the Diver.
Sure.
Try to play some Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush. Problem is, a lot of the games I want to play through are long-ass games. Like, I got Star Ocean, Second Story R, Persona 5 Tactica.
Oh my God.
Principle 2. I'm just like, these are too long, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
I've doomed myself, basically.
Yeah, some of those are crazy. I'm sure you'll get a... The nice thing about a lot of those games that you mentioned is that I think after the first few hours, you'll have just like an idea if it's good enough in your opinion for like a Game of the Year thing, if you're into it, because I don't think a lot of those games, well, Final Fantasy 16 might be different because the first couple hours of that is much more dull than it gets later as you increasingly get more like abilities to add into your combos and stuff. But I mean, if you like the opening hours of that game, you would probably love the later hours of it for what that's worth, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of games. It was a heavy year for games. I think we're going to be talking about 2023 games for a few years.
Quite a while. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a big one. But yeah, no Sean. I guess for the housekeeping stuff, just off the top here, this is the last call, if you're listening to this, for the TDP Community Game of the Year stuff. Monday is the cutoff. We are, in fact, you know what? I will check right now, because I know we were about 20 away from having the most we've ever had submission-wise, because I believe the most we ever had submission-wise was about 72, and that was crazy. That was a crazy year. And we are currently at 57, just like to pull the curtain back even more. So we're still like, what, 15-ish away or whatever from beating that. I don't know that we're going to in that time, but this is like the reminder that if you haven't submitted yet and you could be part of that 15 to get us over and make this the biggest year of submissions. But no rush or anything, I guess. And yeah, like I said before, next week it'll be our Game of the Year show. I do believe Nathan has confirmed me. I haven't reached out to him again since the holidays, but he confirmed he would be a part of it, and it'll be a big one. So
I'm excited to see how nonsensical his list is this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty great. I know he was a little bit worried because he's like, I don't think I've played like more than 5 games that came out this year. And I told him, like, just write down like the 5 that you like then. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just us chatting. Like, who cares? So
I'm waiting for NBA 2K10 or whichever one it was he put on last time that was just out of like super left field.
Totally. I'm just expecting some like random thing. I wonder if he played Suika game. I think he would be really into
Oh my
that.
God, could you imagine if all of us had Suika game as our number 1? That'd be the funniest thing.
I think he would be really into that game. I got stupid into that game for a long time, so I wouldn't blame anybody for putting that high on their list, honestly. That was a good one. Anyways, this is the top-down perspective, the first one of the year for 2024, January 4th. And I am Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler. Can't believe we're doing the first one of the year and Sean's not even here for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally, I'm the one who's not here for it, so it's a little jarring too.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay because not a whole lot is going on or happened. I think we're all in a Game of the Year mode and still kind of shaking off the cobwebs from the holidays. Hopefully everybody listening had a good, safe, happy holidays as well. I didn't play anything this week to talk about. What about you?
I don't think I've played a game unless we're talking about on stream. Because on stream I did game clearing, I did lightning round, so I
Okay.
tried beating Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee.
Okay. How did that go?
Yeah, that game kicked my ass.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, no, like you get 3 lives to beat 8 characters, and the boss is Mechagodzilla, and Mechagodzilla has a lot of projectiles, so I kept getting bodied.
Sure, yeah. I don't know if this is the one I played. I've played a couple Godzilla games, but I don't know
Yeah,
if
there's
I
like
did this.
Godzilla Save the Earth as well, which I think is an updated version.
Yeah, I don't think I have played this. So it's just a fighting game, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not one of the not one of those like big semi-open world like fighter things that they've done.
It's like Rage of the Monsters, or do you remember War of the Monsters on PS2? Like it's like
Yeah.
an arena fighter where you've got like a giant area, and then you can just you can pick up buildings and throw them at people.
Right.
You got like
Okay.
special moves. You have like a beam attack and a projectile. You can do like specials like dig underground or like anything that's like dictated to like your character.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'd never played this one. So it's quite difficult, huh?
I think I might have just had bad luck, but like some people were saying, yeah, the AI just kind of cheats at times. Like the AI knows when power-ups appear, and they, even though you can't physically see them, and just runs to them.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Fair
And
enough.
in the story mode and the adventure mode, like when you're fighting Mechagodzilla, like you start in an arena where all these turrets are shooting at you and specifically you. So you just keep getting like extra damage unless you're careful.
Okay. Well, bummer. So you didn't beat it then? Like even
No.
yeah. Was there
I
any
tried
other
for 2 hours. Did it like I think they did an hour and a half on normal, and then I was like I moved it down to easy and still didn't do it in like 2 runs. We're like, all right, we're moving
Wow. Wow. Okay.
on. We also did. What did we all play? We played the Great Waldo Search for the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That took like 5 minutes. That was a piece of cake. We are the best Waldo finders. Like, goddamn.
We're gonna have to do the Waldo lore breakdown at some point for 2024, the yearly breakdown.
I was gonna say, doesn't Sean normally do this? I think this is Sean's like expertise. Is
Yeah.
Waldo.
If I remember, I'll ask him next week because there won't be enough to talk about next week. So maybe.
Oh
we'll
yeah,
go
no,
through that.
yeah. The 3 hour show seems like a good time to throw in some Where's Waldo lore.
Yeah. Right.
We played through Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Okay. How long is that game? Because I've seen that game, but I've never played through it myself.
If you know the paths, I think it's only like 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
If you don't and want to do all the other ones, it takes about an hour, hour and a half. But a lot of
Okay.
it's just like super drawn out scenes, like super drawn out. Also, a lot of the comedy in that has aged like milk.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I think my chat had a mild crisis watching it. I was just like, oh wow, oh ooh, I can't believe they said that, Jesus, and just like that over and over.
Yeah. Didn't we have a question like last week that's like, what's something you played in your childhood that makes you cringe now? That's probably like somebody's answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say that game is it's aided. I think it's rated M for mature, so I can't imagine very many
Oh.
people played it in their childhood. But yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
god dang. What else did we play that night? You know that like half the shit's like right here. You think I would? Oh right, we tried to beat the Three Stooges on the Nintendo on the NES.
Okay, is that hard?
Yeah, because it's all mini games, and you have to like build up money. You have to get like $5,000 for the normal ending and 20,000 for the best ending.
Right. Yeah.
And you randomly pick your stage, but you have a time limit of 30 days, so 30 turns. But if you accidentally pick a mouse trap, you take a hit, and if you take I think 4 hits, you just instantly fail.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
so like randomly you can just lose out of nowhere. You can have a great run, and then you just get hit a bunch of mouse traps, and you're done.
Oh, that's so
It sucks.
brutal.
The game would be so much easier without that, but I assume that's why they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like I'm guessing AVGN or somebody. Like I remember watching a video on this. It brought back some memories looking at some of these screenshots. I've seen this game before. That sounds brutal.
Yeah.
All right. Did you end up beating like any, I guess? A good
Yeah,
handful of
I
them?
beat three of them. I beat Plumber. I
Yeah.
beat Waldo. I beat
And Waldo.
Stooges. And I did not
Oh.
beat Godzilla.
Oh, okay. So you beat all of them except Godzilla. I was under the
Yeah.
impression that you didn't beat Stooges or the other one.
No, Stooges took some work, but we got it. We had
Okay.
like an amazing run going, and then we kept hitting events that were making us lose money. And I'm like, oh no, if I lose any more money, I'm actually gonna get the bad ending again. I'm gonna get a game over. So I have to I had to on purpose hit the mousetraps to get out of the game.
Man, you know what they should do is crowd control for that game.
Ew, 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 no, 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 no. Hard pass there, hard pass there.
$1 million idea. That's a free one for the crowd control people. It's a free one on me. Did you play anything else that is
Nope, that was
worthy?
it.
Yeah.
That is worthy.
That's worthy to talk about, yeah.
No, I did get one cool thing I'm excited about. Finally, Limited Run sent me Rendering Ranger R2
Ooh.
for the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
This is a game we never got out over here. It is basically it's basically a new Turrican game done by one dude, or like one dude in his group, and they never released it in North America, despite it apparently being like extremely critically acclaimed in Japan.
Oh.
It
Okay.
pushes
yeah.
like the SNES to its absolute fucking limit. Like it's kind of a marvel for the system. So I'm excited to finally play that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Does that count as a 2023 release? It could.
I guess technically.
It could, yeah.
Well, now I gotta put it add it onto the fucking list.
You gotta add it onto the
Play it
list.
now.
Yeah.
I got a week.
Nothing for news. Well, nothing really worth talking about, so we just didn't pull it. This is going to be all questions. There are a decent amount here, and obviously it's going to be a shorter episode, probably because of it. But yeah, questions. No, nobody cares about Steam Awards. We're not doing that. Steam Awards are dumb, and that's a primarily PC gamer saying that. They're terrible. Well,
Do
because
they award them yet, or is it the voting area?
well, it's because they don't. Nobody who votes on them gives a shit. They meme everything, so they're like,
Yeah.
they're the type that's like best community is like Destiny too, because of like the controversy and stuff. They're that crowd, so nobody gives a shit about what they actually have to say about awards, which is unfortunate. I wish people on PC cared, but they're all just a bunch of trolls and assholes. Can confirm because I'm one of them. All right, questions. If you want to write in, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. Just straight up, you're probably not going to get a question read for a couple weeks. So I hope this got it out of your system, everybody in the Discord, because there's a bunch here. And next week is going to be Game of the Year. And I know the hosts all have kind of different stuff going on, so it might be a while. Let's make the best of it right now as we can. Starting with Rasterman7, who writes, "What's on your 2023 pile of shame that isn't video games? Something like TV series you didn't manage to watch, or a concert you weren't able to attend. Maybe a place you just missed visiting, or a book you couldn't find time to read. Anything goes, but limited to 5 things."
I have a bunch of TV shows I want to watch because like I buy Blu-rays and stuff every now and then.
Sure.
Wanted to get through all the John Wick movies, and I only watched the first one. I had all the Ip Man video movies and want to watch all those. I only got through the first one.
Yep. Okay.
I got some Kamen Rider series I want to watch through. I got 60s Batman I want to watch through, and it's just like,
Oh man.
nope.
Sure.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I want to watch. I'm just like, yeah, nothing.
Sure. I think Sean and I are going to be doing like a TV/movie game of the year or of the year sort of thing. So I won't get into specifically TV and movies and stuff because that might like show my hand a little bit for that. But what are some things I wish I had done this year basically or attend? I feel like there's some obvious stuff, but I can't really. I don't know. I was pretty content not really doing much of anything this year. Like, there wasn't any concerts I really wanted to go to. I guess I wish I read more comics this year. Like, I
Mm.
I got really into One Piece after the Netflix live action thing came out, and I started reading that manga. And I guess like my pile of shame is I wish I had kept up with it, but I just didn't because it was fun for a while there. So I wish I had just done more comic book stuff. I know you did a bunch of comic book stuff this year,
I
actually.
did a surprising amount of comics this year. Like I out
Yeah.
of nowhere, I'm like, I'm gonna read all of the Ninja Turtles run, like or at least all the stuff that's in like trades. Um, and then I did all of the Power Rangers run that was in trades. And then I started reading Hellboy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got like like I think I'm on book 2 of like the anthology or like the main one that they apparently recommend, the omnibus.
Okay. Yep.
But like I'm really enjoying that. I just for some reason burnt myself out on comic reading, so then I took a break from that.
Yeah.
Started
Fair.
reading some actual books. I finished what was it called? I Only Read Murder.
Okay.
That was a comedy murder book I was reading. I would say my wife Reese got me a, copy of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for Christmas, and that's gonna be my next traveling book, I guess. Because I've barely been gaming on flights. I've mainly been reading,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
wild considering the flight to Orlando was 5 hours. And I'm just like, I'm gonna spend this 5 hours reading this book.
That sounds great, honestly.
It sounds great. It's weird to get used to when you're like, I am the gamer. I must do all the gaming. And suddenly I'm like, a book sounds really nice right now.
That's probably why you don't want to do the gaming, right? Because you have to do
I
it all
think
the
that's
time.
it. Which sucks because like the trip before when I went to Emil's, I packed my Steam Deck, I packed my Switch, and the only thing I broke out the Switch specifically just to do prep work for one of our playthroughs, and then I don't think I played anything at all during that 2 weeks I was there in my downtime,
Sure.
except for like 2 hours of Super Mario RPG Remake.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I also didn't read the books I brought on that trip there. I read them on the flight there and the flight back, and I was like, okay, that's what we're doing then.
Okay. Fair enough.
VGC Kenny says Nintendo, Sega, Sony, and Microsoft have announced a joint press conference. At the conference, they announced that they are going to manufacture their old consoles again to sell them, alongside their old game catalogs in a new packaging to both be eco-friendly and not to dilute the old game market that John is a part of. Well, how nice. But that's not all. They've given dev kits to people to make new games for the old consoles. However, there is a catch. This program will only last for 1 year unless it becomes incredibly lucrative. They won't void any games that might take longer to develop for being released, but they won't license new ones. Would this plan work and how would you react? This is the dumbest fucking plan they could do.
This would never work. No, they would lose
Yeah.
so much money doing this for no reason.
They would absolutely like I here's the thing. I think these companies barely make money off like the mini consoles. Like
Yeah.
Nintendo must have if they did the SNES mini.
Sure.
But like and Sega keeps doing it for the Genesis because they've just got a lot of games to pull from, but like I can't see an Xbox mini working because like half that they basically already cherry picked the best original Xbox stuff and that works on the Series X.
Right.
Straight up.
Yep.
You can just pop that disc in there or buy it online, like, and it works.
Yep. So like,
So,
why would you buy the
it,
shitty mini version of something that only plays these
yeah,
games when you can buy the new one that will play those games and everything up to today?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, like, we're specifically saying mini. It's not a mini console. They're saying it's the
Yeah.
like I'm getting an original brick Xbox again. Like for Microsoft, it
Right.
makes 0 sense. It makes 0 sense for Microsoft. For Nintendo, I don't know. That's tricky because they kind of bank off that nostalgia money a lot. I think they could get away with it.
They do. True. Yeah.
I almost think Sega could also get away with it too, but I don't think they would be lucrative enough. I think they would make their money back, but not make a lot of extra money.
Nintendo probably could do this because this is literally what Analog has made a whole company doing.
Oh, don't
Honestly.
remind me. I've got so much analog stuff now.
And it's all awesome. So like if Nintendo did it, they would probably be okay. Sony, I mean, the PS Mini or whatever was okay. I think Sony could probably, they would have a small following be really into it, but like it wouldn't be as big as Nintendo or Sega, I think. But I think they could probably do it. They would lose a shitload of money though, which is why they would never do it.
Yeah.
And how would you react? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't care. I would kind of be like, isn't this fiscally irresponsible for this company to be doing this? Like, that's probably the most I would think about it, but I wouldn't care very much at all. Phantom Aegis writes, Ahoy TDP crew. How much do you care about your hygiene? This question is more about your own well-being than social perceptions.
I care about my hygiene a lot. I like being clean. I mean,
That's
I have
fair.
hobo days where I'm just like, I don't want to see anyone. I'm in my pajamas. Don't fuck with me. I do not care. My hair can be as messy as possible. It will be like just a grease ball. But if I don't have to go anywhere, fuck it. Don't care. But then it's just like,
Yeah,
all right, it's a normal day. I'll actually like, I'll shower. I always shower in the mornings. Like the
sure.
only time I don't is if I have to do something immediately and can't get it fitted in because I like to take long showers, or I'm just like, yeah, I don't feel like being a human being today. Today I am a gremlin. I'm just hiding in the corner or hiding in my chair.
Yeah, fair. Um, Question about my own well-being. Honestly, I don't really care that much. Like, obviously, I would rather feel good. The thing I care about the most, because I've had the most problems with it in my life, is my teeth. So, like, that part I care a lot
Mm.
about because I have firsthand felt every pain almost that you can feel from that shit. And just trust me, you don't want that stuff. But, like, I don't know. It's more for, like, I guess other people and me feeling okay about myself every now and then, but I kind of don't care. Really. To be honest, it's just something you get used to and do to me. I don't really even think about
Yeah,
it.
that's fair. Yeah, teeth are a big thing for me too. It's just like, oh God, I've like brushed away part of my gum line, so they're like, if you're
Yeah.
not careful, you're gonna like feel pain all the time. Like, okay, I'll use Sensodyne. I'll be very careful.
I hate it because it's like one of those things where you can do it too much and then also cause problems.
Yeah, yeah, that's the stupid thing. My dentist is like, all right, we're gonna give you extra soft bristles because you keep damaging your gum line. So knock it the fuck off.
Yeah.
Here's the softest bristles made by humankind. Just do it lightly, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
Lineback writes in and says, "What is your go-to comfort food and drink? Comfort food, pizza.
I was gonna say pizza for you. I think probably.
Yeah, and I guess water. I guess because I don't really drink much else. I guess maybe like an orange juice or apple juice. Probably an apple juice actually.
Okay. Comfort food is definitely like just a normal single patty, well cooked cheeseburger, probably. Um,
Mm, good
Drink,
choice.
coffee.
Oh, there you go. I guess a smoothie could work for me too. I like strawberry smoothies.
Ooh, a strawberry smoothie. I like a strawberry banana smoothie as well.
Yeah,
Teas are
that's the
good.
good shit. That's the good shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I can't get into teas. I don't know why. I've never been able to drink warm drinks. I just hate it.
You and Sean are on the same wavelength with that for sure. I love warm drinks. They're one of my favorites. So I would
Dude,
say
that's
they're
why
more
I can't
comfort.
even do soup. It sucks. I'm just like, oh, like that's some great chili. Let me let it cool down a bit, and then I'll dig in.
So weirdly, I was with you guys on soups for a long time until like about a year ago, and then I started being more and more into them. But I hated soups for most of my life, honestly. I don't know. Things change. Things come and go, depending what you're into. Hebrew Lantern writes, what's something you believed in when you were a kid that was absolutely nonsense? This is there's so many like edgy answers you could say, like God,
Oh.
happiness, like, but Santa.
I mean, yeah, Santa was always this weird thing, especially because like I would see some of the gifts in like the guest room closet or in like mom's closet.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, it was definitely. I remember definitely was some year I saw a specific game like in the room. I'm like, Mom, did you get that game for me? He's like, No, no, there's nothing there. There's no game there. And then seeing it was directed like from Santa Claus, I'm like, all right, that was the year you blew it.
Yeah.
That was the year I figured it out. God, I'm trying to think. I could be very glib and say I believed in God, but
Yeah.
I'm agnostic, not atheist, so that doesn't.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like religion, God. I mean, like I guess more honestly, the idea that like my parents were like special and not just people was probably like a
Yeah.
really hard one to learn growing up. That they're just also
So,
people that fucked up every now and then.
yeah. I was gonna say Silvermoon probably has the perfect example. I believed all adults were responsible and professional by default.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, as an adult, you learn no one fucking knows what they're doing.
No one knows a thing, man. It's crazy. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I was trying to think of something like really lighthearted or whatever, but like the same stuff every kid believes in, right? Santa, the Easter Bunny, whatever like dumb crap you were told as a kid to make you like go to bed or whatever.
Hebrew Lantern. If you could poop in your hand and a genie saw it, would he still give you 3 wishes?
I think he'd have to. I think he's contractually
I think he'd be
obligated.
grossed out, but he'd be like, I ain't high-fiving you. We ain't shaking hands or high-fiving. I'm just gonna give you like a finger gun and get away.
Yeah, that's true.
Unrelated question. What fictional character would have the most successful OnlyFans account?
So I want to just say
Any Overwatch girl.
I want to say one thing. I saw this is David Hebrew Lantern say time to put all the questions that Sean cut. Now you guys can see why we cut some questions. Now you see why some of them get cut. I just wanted to get that out there. The Overwatch girls, because they single-handedly created a whole genre of porn on Pornhub when that game was in alpha, not even fully out yet. So for sure. I think they're still like the top searched video game thing, right?
They're still pretty up there for the Pornhub count, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely them. Who else? Lara Croft, sure. I mean, like, let's be real. Like, every female lead character ever, it probably would be fine. Especially if they're, like, a furry. There's a lot of characters that I think would make a killing on OnlyFans. For men, Doom Guy.
Yeah, Doom Guy.
I guess.
Also any Overwatch character, or at least a number of them.
Yeah.
Nathan Drake. Trying to think
Sure.
of who's like oh, just the Baldur's Gate cast. What was I thinking? The Baldur's Gate 3 cast.
Sure. Yeah, all of them.
Astarion.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much any character. The secret is that like you probably most people could do an OnlyFans if they wanted to and find at least 1 or 2 people to subscribe to it. So every video game character would probably have a decent shot since they're all extremely popular.
Yep.
Phantom Aegis writes, one feature I love with the new consoles and with Steam is their mobile apps. I can look at what games are installed, my captures, playtime, browse the store for deals, and purchase games on there. This makes me wonder, do you believe Nintendo will be advertising a brand new mobile app alongside their new next system, or have all the improvements and features be exclusively on that new hardware?
I think they'll do a mobile app again because there were some cool features about like the Splatoon connectivity and stuff like that, but I don't know if they're going to take it to the seriousness that like Sony does or Xbox or even Steam does.
They're always going to be a little bit behind for sure. Yeah.
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 Hopefully voice chat won't be tied to the mobile app.
If Nintendo had a really good app where I could just like browse what deals they have during like Boxing Day sales or whatever, and then buy it there and have it download, that would be great. But it would also require them to make a console that they kind of suspect will always be on in some regards, and I don't know that they would even ever consider that. So who knows?
What the- Board CO2 says sometimes we're really like a character from a game, but their real design or even their existence is a spoiler. So you can't really bring them up often. Let's take a moment to appreciate the characters we love but can't talk about. To avoid spoiling everything, just mention what they're from. I love a certain villain's design from Cyberdimension Neptunia.
Oh,
I know what they're talking about, and I got maybe I'll say Shadow of the Colossus.
okay.
That's probably one of the better examples I can think of.
Okay. Can't talk about it to avoid spoilers. I'm a big fan. Like, maybe it's a little cheesy and gimmicky, a lot of people say. I'm a big fan when, like, a game has a character from that company's other franchise make a cameo or something. So, like, I don't know necessarily that they have a huge impact, but I'm always a fan when a character from another game, like, pops in somewhere else. And I guess that could be spoilery or whatever, but, like, that's part of the reason why, even though I didn't play more than the first 1.5 Kingdom Hearts games, like, I like the Kingdom Hearts stuff because it's like, oh, I love this character and this thing or whatever, and that game is like all of that. I don't really know. There's a lot of weird Resident Evil things that they do with some of those characters that are spoilers, so I guess probably some of those. And I don't
Mm.
know if that's because I like that character or what's going on, or because I like how stupid that series gets sometimes with those characters. But either way, it's just
Mm.
kind of a catch 22 anyway. VGC Kenny writes, what games do you think should have remained as 2D sprites purely for the art style? I know Pokemon
Mm.
has started coming into its own as 3D models, but I think people wouldn't complain if they stayed sprites. I do think Ace Attorney should have never banned their sprites, though. And I mean sprites, not those 2D model things you see in some of the re-releases.
I like Pokemon as 2D sprites. I'll admit that.
Sure.
But I think the 3D models are fine too.
Yeah, it was nice playing Cassette Beasts again this last year and just being like, yeah, this is just familiar. Like, I know it's literally just Pokemon with, like, some changes, but it's that old art style with new stuff. That's kind of all I care about. Um,
Hmm. I get what they mean with Ace Attorney. I think the sprites kind of looked nicer than the 3D models. The 3D models almost seem too clean.
right.
Uh, hmm. Guilty Gear is a weird thing. I like how Arc System Works handles the 3D models for like the latest Guilty Gears. I think they look fantastic, but there's a certain charm that the 2D sprites had that I feel like is lost now. Same with King of Fighters when they went to 3D models.
Oh, sure. Yeah. There so like in that same kind of regard, especially speaking of fighters, there was a charm with the old Mortal Kombat where it was like the still images or whatever as sprites. And then when Mortal Kombat, what was it? I think 4 specifically started really like making them just rounded polygons and like making them 3D models or whatever. It felt like it
Yeah.
lost a lot of it, what I thought was cool visually about that whole series.
Mm. No, I feel you on that. I understand that. Yeah, because the rotoscoping or
Yeah,
the rotoscoping is really like the cool thing about it.
yeah. It's hard too because like when we're talking about what should have stayed 2D as opposed to 3D, the game style changes so much. So like, do I say I wish Risk of Rain always stayed 3D or 2D for Risk of Rain 2, even though it's completely a very different game? It's a different thing completely. So yeah, I don't know. It just makes it hard. Or like Mario. Like I think Mario should have stayed 2D. So now we no longer have Mario 64, Odyssey, Sunshine, like any of these amazing
Yeah.
games anymore.
I mean, that's why I think they specifically state just for the art
Just
style.
for the
So,
art, yeah. Yeah.
uh, VGC Kenny says Nintendo announces that 2025 will be the second year of Luigi. But why? Well, it's because it'll be 12 years since the original year of Luigi, And part 2 of Nintendo's plan is to make their own Chinese-style Zodiac. What other Nintendo characters would make up this Zodiac, and which one would you want? Bonus question, what character would be the cat? I mean, the cat would be Cat, whatever character they haven't used yet. So Cat Mario, Cat Peach, Cat Rosalina, Cat
Oh,
Toad.
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they're gonna use what they're gonna do is they're gonna use most of the Mario cast and then a couple of like the other side characters. So they're gonna
Yeah.
use Mario, Luigi, Princess Toadstool, probably also Princess Daisy and Rosalina.
Yep.
They're gonna use Donkey Kong.
Yep.
They're gonna use Wario.
Yep.
They're gonna use Samus. They're gonna use someone from Animal Crossing. Let's say Isabelle, because there's Year of the Dog. Year of the Dog, so that fits.
Do you think they do like a Bowser, or is that kind of like a bad omen for that year?
Bowser's a dragon. He would be Year of the Dragon.
Okay, yeah. I was just wondering if, like, how superstitious are we getting? Because Bowser's is not really a great dude. Like, I don't know if I want to live in the year of the
He's
Bowser.
a great parent, though.
Yeah, and he sings that awesome song in the movie, so I guess
That's
there's
true.
that. Yeah. No, those are all, yeah, that's all true. What about Waluigi? Does he get a year? Or is he too out there?
I love Waluigi. I don't think Nintendo would give him the year.
I agree. I also don't think they would.
No, I think you're like, no, we're gonna give it to Toadette instead.
They didn't even give him a game to appear in this last year.
No, he's only been. Oh, don't do that to me. That hurts.
It's true.
Don't do that to me.
It's crazy. Didn't they release like? Wait, is he in Mario Party Superstars or Golf?
He's in Superstars, yeah.
Okay, well that's good enough.
That was last year though. That was 22.
Holy shit, you're right. What Mario stuff released that like would have been just like a sports game? Was Golf this year?
No, dude, I don't think there were any spin-off games this year.
Oh, that's why then he didn't appear in anything. Okay.
The Mario Kart DLC is the only spin-off thing.
Okay. Sure. I was wondering why he didn't appear in anything, because I saw that like tweet or article or something, I think yesterday or today, and I was wondering why, but that makes sense if there was no like big thing where it brought a bunch of characters together. They probably wouldn't have him in anything. Chinese Zodiac. That could be fun. Air IQ writes, do you think GTA 6 will include cheat codes like its predecessors?
Did 5 have cheat codes?
I don't know. I'm going to say no, but let me see. GTA 5 cheat codes. Yes, it did.
Oh, damn.
You know what? Yeah, maybe then. These are all phone numbers, which is pretty great. So max health and armor was 199 turtle. 199 tool up was weapons and ammo. 1999 fugitive was raised wanted level. So that's pretty great. I'm sure they'll probably do something like that then. Again, I didn't realize they did it for 5.
Yeah, I thought 5 didn't have any either. That's a surprise.
Yeah, that's cool. Follow-up to that is... I lost the thing here. Are there games you played within the past year you wish had cheat codes just for the sake of messing around or skipping the bullshit?
Every game should have cheat codes. It's just fun to fuck around with.
Agreed. Yep. It's fun to fuck around with. Or, best case scenario, you lose your save or something. I love the idea of being able to quickly get back to somewhere that like I was and then maybe turning them off again and going normal or whatever. Like, it's just good. It's just fun.
Shane Steiner's Monster says, if you could add DLC to one game that came out before DLC was a thing, what game would it be? And what kind of content would you like to be added?
Okay.
That's a big list to pull from now that I think about it.
It is.
Clearly, I need that Tetris Story Mode DLC. It's what I would have needed on my Game Boy as a child.
I do have a question for you that's tangentially related and maybe will help jog the memory a little bit. What was the first game you remember playing that had, like, DLC?
It had DLC.
It can be paid DLC as well. Oh, okay.
Dead Rising, I think.
Do we count expansion packs then at
Because
that
that
point?
expansion packs are what they did instead of DLC, and even then, that's
Right.
only for PC games for the most part.
Right. Yeah. Because mine was probably Diablo, the Hellfire expansion, which added. What the fuck did that add? The monk in the first one, I think, or was it Druid?
Don't ask me. I wasn't allowed to play that series as a kid.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So like, what came out before that? If they added like more Mario stuff, that would have been cool. I was super into like Mario 2, 3, and World. So I would have definitely
Yeah.
been super into like adding a new like land with 5 to 10 levels or something. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I could see like just another Mario World, like Mario World Dash 2 or something like that, or like Lost Levels.
Yeah.
The Lost Worlds, I guess, would be the more sensible name for that one. But yeah, like something like that. Uh,
More Robot
yeah,
Masters
I
and
can't
Mega
even say
Man.
Metal Gear Solid because it got fucking VR missions.
Yep. I loved VR missions too. I know people talk shit. I found that shit fun. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
get it.
love the murder mystery stages were fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I really have a good answer for this because I feel like anything that I would have wanted, like it would just be so super basic. Like, oh yeah, give me a Mario 64 too. It's like, and we sort of did because that's Sunshine.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like any PC game got an expansion pack, which was basically DLC. So
Give me the Yoshi expansion for Mario 3. Make it work finally, and then
there you
put
go.
that shit out. And final question from Dead. With the Wii U and 3DS servers shutting down soon, when will Nintendo pull the plug on Splatoon 2 servers and other Switch games?
Well, since the Switch is still active, they've been pretty good about that. I think they'll leave at least Splatoon 2 up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is a tough one to answer because again, Nintendo being Nintendo, no one fucking knows what they'll do at times.
And like the fact that they're always given as an example of one of these companies that they could just like take a loss for the rest of their existence monetarily. They could just do whatever they want or whatever. So theoretically, they could just pay for these servers for life if they wanted to, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think they would, but I'm going to say 2028 is when it's going to happen. Don't know why.
Just a feeling.
Just a feeling. Just a feeling I got. That's it for questions. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. Again, TDP Podcast on Twitter. Topdownperspective@gmail.com. Mix those up in my head, and now it feels weird. The Discord channel and John's P.O. Box. That is going to do it for this show. Like I said, it was going to be a shorter one because we didn't have a whole lot to talk about. But
I was we went for about 45 minutes.
yeah, and mainly this was a big advertisement for you guys to make sure you're there next week when we do
Game of the year.
a show that's 3 times longer than normal shows, and by the end we're dead. It's always so long. It's so long every time. I look forward to it every year, but I also look forward to it being done at the moment we're doing it every year as well. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for listening as always. Stay tuned for a whole bunch of 2023 talk next week with all 4 of us here as far as I can tell. And we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.